He's just said to me, how's me hair? My hair's better than his, isn't it? I'm only joking.
Your beard is.
Yes, exactly.
Hi guys, delighted to have scored my first hat-trick. Very happy for the win. We are in a great position. How with the lad?
This is actually the review, believe it or not. Welcome back to Newcastle Fans TV. This video is sponsored by OneFootball. Make sure you download it. The link will be in the description. Me, Will, Mark, Kyle, Lee, everybody has probably downloaded it.
Yeah, genuinely use it. Use it quite a lot. It's really good.
He actually uses it for Salford. That's another video.
Yeah.
Lee is probably was saying just before that we're safe now, and Rafa got his tactics spot on.
Are we mathematically safe now?
No, Cardiff have to win the last 4. We have to lose our last 3. However, when you look at the starting 11, was it spot on by Rafa Benitez today?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think there's any reason to change it. We had a great result against Leicester. The back three works really well. It's a shame Lejeune's not there because he is, one of our better defenders. However, Dummett does slot in there really well, and it's something that I think we've known for a while that Dummett is a centre back, and him being left-footed, he slots in there quite well. Key's been doing well.
Did we miss Lejeune though, Will? Because I just said to Lee though, I didn't even realise Dummett was playing because that's how good he was playing.
No, I don't think we did, but I think we were that dominant, especially in the first half, that I don't think we really missed him too much, but it's good to see that Dummett can sort of fill in the role really, really well, and it shows that we have good options there at centre-back.
Let's talk about the game. First goal by Mr. Jose Perez from pressing from Isaac Hayden, but pressing from Hayden, Almiron, Perez, Rondon, put pressure on Southampton's defence, and it paid off.
Yeah, I mean, the last time I watched us play live here was Cardiff. Although we won that game, you saw how we kind of felt like we struggled through that game. And watching it today, it's amazing how one player changes the way that we go about, and we are much more attack-minded, we're much more front-focused. And I was really impressed by Miguel Almiron. I think he was absolutely brilliant. And we're pressing from the front, we're pressing midfield, we didn't give Southampton any time on the ball. And it was a really good goal, great finish from Perez. And properly informed now, it's 4 goals in his last 2 games.
Got his second on the day from a lovely assist from Solomon Rondon. What a ball that was, wasn't it, for Perez's second, but a great finish. I think people have to remember how hard that finish was because it was coming behind him a little bit and he just got enough to get past Angus Gunn. Yeah,
I couldn't probably see it because I was at the other end of the ground, but it did look like a difficult finish, and Perez just kind of pops up in those spaces. I think that's also the other advantage of Almiron, because everyone hypes him up and kind of talks about him. A lot of people kind of focus there, and you can kind of see they were shifting a bit more to left-hand side, leaving Perez with all the open space. So I thought it was a shame Almiron didn't get a goal or assist today, but it shows how important he is to the team, and stats sometimes don't mean everything, but Perez was fantastic, and fantastic finish again.
Newcastle looked comfortable in the first half, and then going into the second half, Hasenhüttl had to make changes. He takes off Josh Sims, I forget the other player taken off, but he bring on Mauro Lemina.
Who was on a yellow card.
Yeah, I think it was probably sensible, but he brought on Lemina and he got Southampton's goal. Is it just one of those players you just expect him to be on his game? Because I think he's better than Southampton. No disrespect to Southampton, but I definitely think he's a top 6 squad player for me, for sure, and he took his goal really well.
No, he's a great player. He got a lot of plaudits last season, but I think underperformed. Coming from Juventus, you expect him to be a certain calibre of player, and he, really looked electrifying. Someone who could carry the ball forward. He looked quite quick. Could turn on the sixpence. Good play, really good finish as well, because Dubravka's not the easiest goalkeeper to get past, and good finish from him, but happily we restored our dominance straight afterwards.
And this is a goal that you definitely would have seen in the John Hall stand.
Yeah.
It's a striker's instinct to try and get a goal from anywhere in the box, and in particular the 6-yard box, and it just flicks past Gunn. And Newcastle are playing Premier League football next season, and that's Jose Perez's first hat-trick since, I don't know, because I'm not Rob. Yeah, took the goal well, and he's got a great celebration, and he's shutting everybody up, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, Perez is one of those players, but I always find that he starts the season fairly slowly, and he gets really important towards the end, and the same happened last year as well. He's a really important player for us, and especially in this system, he works really, really well. He works well with Rondon, and he's a very valuable player for us, which means that if he is to leave this summer, which has been talked about, it would be for an enormous fee, which is far more than what Kyle said he's worth. For me, he's definitely worth over 20.
Do you think that Perez, for me, do you think he can be a candidate for player of the season for Newcastle, or should he be player of the season for Newcastle? He's probably on the same goals as Rondon now. There's no reason why not, is there?
No, absolutely not. I think, again, he's a massively important player for us. I think Rondon also is up there, as well as a couple of other candidates. But yeah, I don't see why not as a candidate. Yeah, he did well, did fantastically today. He generally is always fairly consistent for us. He always consistently gets, above 5, up to 10 goals. So, no, massively important player for us, Jose Perez.
A massively important manager is Rafa Benitez. Let's get his comments.
This time we were talking about the reaction that they could have in the second half, and we were trying to be sure that we were solid at the beginning, but they changed the formation. They put a lot of players between the lines. It was more difficult for us to control that. Then very good first half, and the second half we have to score the third goal and change everything. We didn't do it. Key had a very good chance, and after we have the other one, but also they have 2 or 3. So we have to say that it was important to win. It doesn't matter how. Good first half, defending and trying to play counter-attack in the second half. In the end, we won. We keep them behind, and that is really important when you have Brighton, Cardiff and Southampton now behind you.
And we're back. Newcastle now 12th, 41 points.
Yep.
We're safe, aren't we, Will?
Oh yeah, easy. I think it's between Cardiff and Brighton. I think Southampton, if they lose all their last games, they really could be dragged in there. But it really is realistically between Cardiff and Brighton. And between the two, I do kind of fancy Cardiff to be the ones that stay up, because Brighton have a horrible run of games, including us as well.
They probably look at our game as probably the easiest on paper, haven't they? Because they've got City, they've got Spurs, they've got Arsenal, and they've got us. They'll be looking at that Newcastle game going, we need to win. Is that a bonus for us next week, that they've got to go full throttle for it?
It puts the pressure on them, but we'll have no pressure at all. I think we saw it last year when we got saved. We kind of dropped off a bit. I remember us losing home to West Brom. We on our day we can beat any team. We proved that this season where we beat Man City. Whether we'll be full strength there, especially with the injuries that we kind of got today, Almiron, Hayden, Shaw, we'll have to wait and see. But no, the pressure will be on Brighton. We are safe, so anything after this is a bonus, isn't it?
2 injuries, Almiron getting injured, Shaw getting injured. I think Shaw is probably definitely out for the rest of the season. It just depends on Almiron if it's a proper tear in his hamstring or if it's just a dead leg. Obviously we'll find out from Rafa's comments beforehand. So if both of those players are out, can you see Newcastle getting many more points on the board from now to the end of the season? Brighton away, Liverpool at home, Fulham away. How many points are Newcastle getting?
Maybe 4. I mean, a lot of people have said that the Liverpool game is one that we might pull off an upset, but I don't really see it. I don't really see that one happening. I think Liverpool, they have to win every game. They can't slip up at all, pardon the pun. But I don't think we'll get anything against Liverpool. Might get something at Brighton, might be one of them. I don't know. It's one of these things where me as a Newcastle fan, I haven't really seen us sort of strive that high, apart from when we finished 5th. Apart from that, it's just we stay up and anything after that's a bonus, which is a sad way to think, but that's seemingly the way that the club is set up at the minute. It's what Lee Charnley has said, and yeah, he's just got to take what he can, really. And I'm happy that we're climbing up the table. I think we're now above Bournemouth, who by all accounts had a fantastic season, so it shows that again Rafa has pulled off a fantastic result with a squad that is depleted and needs a rebuild in the summer. And if he does stay, hopefully he will, and if he gets all the resources that he wants, he's allowed to spend it in the way he wants. And I don't see why we couldn't climb even that bit higher.
You talk about resources. Do you not think that Lee Charnley's upset the fans again? I think firstly for me, he's pretty much given away the fact that Newcastle have got about 55-60 million to spend. Oh, Keith Downey, as Lee's just pointed out, is just somewhere in the horizon. My Sky friends, yeah. Do you think that was naive to say how much we have potentially to spend, and also the fact that the club's main priority is to stay in the Premier League? If I'm playing devil's advocate, one side of the coin will say Newcastle are perceived to be a top 10 club. Should that be a sensible thing to say? On the other hand, people might say, well, we have been a bit of a yo-yo club. We have been in the Championship only a couple of years ago. Is he just stating the obvious?
It's not important what Lee Charnley says as on like when the accounts are released. That's not important. It's important what he says to Rafa. It's important if he can convince Rafa Benitez to stay. As it currently stands, I don't really see, especially from the comments made, if we take them to be gospel, which considering they're from his own mouth, I think we should. That doesn't show a lot of ambition for me, and Rafa sort of said a couple of things in the last couple of press conferences which haven't given me a lot of hope. The club should be striving to do as best as it can. It shouldn't be striving to be satisfied with 17th. Yeah, it just sounded like, it's like, if we finish 17th, okay, at least we stayed up. Whereas, you know, if we finish 17th, we should be really gutted and disappointed. We should be striving to get higher. I really don't believe that we're that far off the sort of level of a kind of Leicester or a Wolves. I think with correct investment, with a plan that Rafa has offered up, and because Rafa's not stupid. Rafa knows how the transfer market works. Rafa knows that if you buy a young player and he does well in the Premier League, he'll be worth 3 times the amount within a year. He also knows that sometimes you do need more experienced players. You need the players that you need, such as Salomon Rondon, in order to get results. I think it's been proven this year by, you know, pursuing Rondon and getting the board to get some kind of deal over the line for Rondon, that it was a good decision. And Rafa knows this. And Rafa has been at teams where he's had to build them on no money, where he's had a lot of money. He brought up Napoli in one of his press conferences, where they had to sell Cavani, bring Higuain, and then there's a couple of others. He knows how this works. You know, he doesn't need Lee Charnley, he doesn't need Mike Ashley to tell him how he should be spending money. Rafa wants the best for this football club. Rafa wants this club to finish as high as possible in the Premier League. Yeah, we might only finish 7th and 10th, which to some people isn't good enough, but considering the investment, considering the squad that we have, it would be a fantastic achievement if Rafa did that. And I don't see any reason why we couldn't, because if we do start the season well and we're kind of looking at those positions earlier in the season, then we can maybe focus more on the cups and then possibly win something. In the FA Cup final, you've got Watford. Brighton got to a semi-final, and so did Wolves. We're really not far away, but it does require for the club to back the man that they've employed and to back the man who has got a proven track record and proven success. And the funny thing is that this, you know, what I say is nothing insightful, it's nothing new.
It is insightful, Will. You know, it's insightful to us. It's entitled to the...
But it's not anything that people don't know already.
And just last 2 quick things. Will Rafa stay next season? Yes or no? If you're putting all the money that you have left from after spending your university fees, do you think Rafa will stay?
Wouldn't be much. I don't know. I was thinking
yes or no. Come on.
What, do you want me to explain my answer?
I want you to kind of, if you had to put your money on it, basically, do you think he's going to stay? Are we going to see him first home game of the season next season?
Yes.
How good were the fans today?
They were fantastic, and it was great to see them backing him again. And we keep backing him. We keep having to go through this every single year, where Rafa might leave, and we have to give him this kind of like last kind of push in order for him to stay. But unfortunately, this time, compared to the first time we got him to sign a contract, which when we got relegated, he didn't have a transfer window to see how the club worked, and there wasn't anything that he's had over the past 3 years. So he'll have a different outlook. He's not going to want to stay if our ambitions are to stay 17th. He wants to come to know that we have ambitions to climb higher. Yeah, it all depends on that. I think yes. Especially with the club releasing accounts, what it does mean now is that everybody here now knows how much money we've got to spend. So if we don't spend it, then there's going to be somebody to blame. It depends what they sell it, what division they sell to him. But I can only hope. I'd say I'm about 51-49. Yes. What about you?
Put me on the spot. I think he will stay. I'm about 52-48. Get your comments in below. What do you think? Do you think that Ayoze Perez is the player of the season for Newcastle? Does Rafa stay? Does Lee Charnley deserve a telling off for telling everybody else in the world that Newcastle have got about 55-60 million to spend? Get your comments in below. Like and subscribe to Newcastle Fans TV.